on how technology is transforming the accounting profession on a national level. Leading this session as the chairperson is Mr. Ruchira Pereira, the fellow member of CMA Sri Lanka, member of CPA Australia, fellow member of CIMA, council member in the Governing Council of CMA Sri Lanka, and currently working as the CFO of the Lyceum Higher Education sector, an esteemed professional with extensive knowledge in the accounting industry. Assisting as the chairperson is Ms. Sureka Ketavala, who brings a wealth of expertise in technological advancements in the accounting practices. So, I would like to welcome the chairperson of the session along with the co-chairperson and also the representatives from the SAFA Federation to the stage, please. Without further ado, let us now commence the third technical session on country's perspective in embracing technology in the accounting profession. Sir, I would like to give this podium to you.
Thank you, Rushat. So we come to the final session of the day, country perspective in embracing technology. Now actually, in this particular conference, we have representatives from 4 countries, but as you can see, we have 7 speakers. Because in certain countries, we have 2 institutions, so we have given the opportunity for a representative from each institution. So from Sri Lanka, we have 2 representatives, from India 2, from Nepal 2, and also from Bangladesh 1. So here in this session, we are going to talk about country perspective in embracing technology, AI and technology. So since morning, we have listened to many speeches. Many speakers have illustrated this topic. So today, actually, we want to listen to representatives from various institutions as to what their institution has done in terms of embracing technology in the curriculum and also in the assessments. So to start the proceedings, may I now invite our first speaker from the Institute of Cost and Management Accountants of Bangladesh, Mr. M.A. Farhan. He's from Dhaka, and he will talk about the country perspective or what his institution has done to embrace technology. Over to you, Farhan.
Very good afternoon, Colombo. Ayata Kohomada. So this is the how are you in Sri Lankan language? Am I right? No reply from the back? So please respond. Ayata Kohomada. Kohomada, yes. Maybe pronunciation right wrong. Thank you. So we have 5 team members from our institution, that is Cost and Management Accountants of Bangladesh, and vastly experienced, more than 10 to 15 years experience, as well as we all are final level students. And in our country, we get the admission after the graduation. So there might be some age gap with some other institutes, but that is the difference. So myself, M.A. Farhan, and my other team members are Mr. Abdur Rahman, who you can see he works in the bank, in a large commercial bank. He has more than 10 years experience in bank. And another member is Mr. Shirajuddaulah. He has only 1 subject left in CMA qualifying, and he has more than 20 years experience in healthcare in Bangladesh. And Mr. Biplab Talukdar, he is from our IT industry. And last, Mr. Polash, he is being one of the distribution company in Bangladesh. So before going anywhere, what is the position of our country in technology? You know, technology we are using same from USA to Bangladesh. Every technology almost same, because we bring technology from the abroad, we implement it, and we use the benefit of the technology. But in innovation, where we are, although it is not very presentable or satisfactory, but it's worth mentioning that in last few years we achieved a lot. In last year, we have come across 14 steps ahead in the ranking. That Global Innovation Index, GII, that reveals the world economic, that innovative economics in the world. And our position is 102 right now in this year. And in creative output and infrastructure, we are doing a lot. And I think we have the opportunity, because we are behind, so we have the opportunity to do better in future. As we all from SAFA countries, we know each other, so I will not explain anything about our country, but we know recently our country, our government has made one vision, that is Vision 2041, that we will be a smart nation. And a smart nation, what we will have? We will have a smart citizen first. Without the citizen, the country will never be smart. And we will have a smart government as well as smart society, and we will have the smart economy. And by 2041, what we will achieve? Our GDP per capita income will be minimum $12,500, currently which is just below $3,000. And we will be extremely poverty-free country, and our poverty level will be below 3%. And we'll have other macroeconomic factor like inflation will be below 5%, and there will be taxable revenue of 20% of our GDP, and 40% of GDP will be investment. And we know by 2041, we are currently very low-skilled labor employees, and very unskilled laborers are there, large population, very small country. And by 2041, our all people will be high school graduate with digital literacy. And our all government service will be paperless and cashless. And for that, our government has already started functioning. The government service is now almost all services, their electronic services are there. In land taxes, you can go by the electronic system, in tax return, VAT return, and government accounting is thoroughly in the integrated accounting software. So our government is not waiting for 2041, they have started the functioning from now on. And right now, our urbanization is not that good, but by 2041, our 80% people will get the urban facilities. And 100% electrification is there, but there will be sustainable and dependable electricity will be there for everyone. I will not discuss anything because since the morning we are getting these benefits from the technology, so I will not go in details with it, but country like us, transparency is essential for the progress, because large population, limited resources, we need to manage very efficiently and effectively. So through this technology, we can have the very transparent system from government, private, and everywhere, in every sector. And in country perspective, as I mentioned before, that in Bangladesh, we have around 2 million government employees, and they are getting salaries from these IBUS++ software. And their budgeting and accounting system is only cloud-based, and from that cloud-based software, there is accounts preparation, budgeting, implementation, everything is done with this software. So, and in every year, there is new connection with the software. So that previously it was IBUS, then IBUS+, then IBUS++. So we are going in the right direction. In our country, in modern technology, there is some use. Already we have used some technologies like blockchain. We have several transactions, but very limited. And we have the financial analysis in the large corporation who have the large number of customers. And many tasks we have been automated since last decade. Challenges all are similar to Sri Lanka because we are a South Asian country, but there is a promise is there. Right now we have a digital divide because all people have the smartphone, but some people don't have the computers and other things. So they cannot be digitally, they are using social media and other things, but we cannot include them in our electronic economic system. And there is we have around 30 to 40% people. Our labor force are unskilled labor mostly. They are working all over the world. And with the modern technology, they are the most exposed to losing the job. So we need to develop this workforce into a technologically advanced and skilled workforce so that they can cope with the modern technology. And another strategy the government taken in 2018, that is that artificial intelligence for Bangladesh through innovation. So our government focuses on the innovation, not for the external resources from the abroad, but we need to make our resources from our own people. And then that will be our affordable resources. And we need to, as I mentioned earlier, that scaling and reskilling of workforce is very important. And we are very exposed to data security because of the large infrastructure changing every moment. So we need to secure, and cyber security is very important for that. And ethical point of view, here comes the professional bodies like ICMAB and ICAB. What professional code of conduct and ethics should be used in our accounting profession, that should be clarified by the accounting bodies, and that should be implemented by the auditors under these bodies. And we need to use this technology in the larger scale. So our professional bodies like ICMAB and ICAB, they are working very hard to make our economy technologically advanced and friendly to the technological. So they have started working redesigning the activity or roles of the professional accountant. Previously, they used to manual accounts, large books, and no record, no timely data available for the decision making. Now, at any moment, government can know how much money I have and how much I need to pay in which sector. So that's the arrangement we are going through. And professional bodies like ICABB and ICAB, they are conducting professional development training courses like this. Like that's why the ICABB sent us immediately after hearing the news that there will be conference on the technology. They immediately collect the data from the students, and they made up a very good team, and they sent us here because to exchange the knowledge. Within exchange of the knowledge, we can learn more and we can do better for our country. And there is a possibility that with man and machine collaboration, there will be synergy and there will be more development. So I don't want to take long because it's just 10 minutes. So God created us with the natural intelligence. So artificial intelligence is created by us. I want to conclude that we should be control the intelligence. We should not be controlled by the intelligence, artificial intelligence. So I think with proper guidelines and proper activities with the professional bodies, we will be very successful country, and we must achieve our vision, which is 2041. We will be developed nation by the 2041. Thanks all. I think if you have any question, I can in the discussion level.
Thank you very much, Farhan, for enlightening us what ICMAB has done to integrate technology in their curriculum and also in their online learning and assessments. I must say ICMAB is a very good friend of us. Whenever we go to Dhaka, we are welcomed by ICMAB and also by CA Bangladesh. So we have many friends at ICMAB. Thank you very much for enlightening as to what ICMAB has done in their curriculum to integrate technology. So now the first speaker from India. He is from CMA India. Actually, he is a chartered accountant, but he is learning CMA. So he is Dilip Akshay. He is residing in Mumbai and he is working at Reliance. Over to you, Dilip.
Hello. Good evening, Sri Lanka. Good evening. Special thanks to CMA senior personnel, the president. Thanks, Ruchira, for the kind introduction. So I'll be presenting on the topic embracing technology in the accounting profession in India. So I've been given a time limit of say 10 minutes, so I'll try to quickly cover and not repeat the definitions and all. So the good quote by Arthur Clarke, what he says is that any sufficiently advanced technology is equal to magic. So, I mean, you all say that, ChatGPT is kind of magic. So that's what I thought is a good introduction for this topic. So what we'll cover? We'll cover 4 things. We will cover the technological landscape. We'll cover the key enablers. And then the main part is the key technologies that are being embraced by the accounting profession in India. And then towards the end, an outlook for the future. So the technological landscape, accounting profession has embraced technology in line with the broader technological advancements of time. And you would remember there was a time when accounts were done manually. So we would record all the transactions on paper. and then came the calculator, which was used as a tool along with manual records. Then we moved on to spreadsheets. So I believe all of you are familiar with Excel, and that's a foundational topic now. Then we moved on to ERP systems like SAP, Oracle, and the like. Now we are moving on to newer and more advanced technologies like cloud computing, like big data, analytics, blockchain, IoT, artificial intelligence. So that's about the technological landscape. And so just a brief about the global trends. So generally, there have been innovations around the world, not limited to any particular country. And generally what happens is that the West innovates something, and developing economies adopt those things. So for example, the cloud computing in accounting. So cloud accounting software were pioneered by the West, but have quickly gained traction in India and all other many developing economies. But there's a different example which I'm going to present here is about Zoho Books. So this is an Indian startup in the cloud accounting space, and it's serving a global audience. Another frontier now is that developing economies are doing innovations which are being adopted across the globe. An example is the UPI stack, which is called the Unified Payment Interface. And this is a revolutionary digital payment technology. And by revolutionary, I mean the numbers are just mind-boggling. So per month, around 9 billion transactions are happening. That's more than one transaction for every person across the globe. The transaction worth 14 trillion. So in Sri Lankan currency, that would be more than 50 trillion Sri Lankan rupees. That is the volume that is being transacted in a single month. Now this has been adopted recently when our PM visited France, and France is having interest in adopting this technology. It's already under implementation in some stages in Nepal, Bhutan, and UAE. So now I'll talk about the key enablers. So I'll talk about three enablers, three key enablers that have been critical to adoption of technology. Number one is the India growth story. So India right now is being under the Amrit Kal. It is one of the fastest growing big economies around the world, and is being positioned as a Vishwaguru, as an alternate power. We have good political will now. We have forward-looking policies. Many of you would have heard about Make in India. So it's a government policy which wants to make India self-dependent on manufacturing. We have Startup India program, which is incentivizing startups. We have policies like Digital India Mission. You can see the logos on the screen, and also search about this, so you'll not know more about these. We have the PM Gati Shakti scheme, which is giving an impetus to infrastructure development in India. So policies like this has made India one of the best placed for an economic growth story. The second is internet penetration. The active internet users in India has recently surpassed 750 million. 5G services have been rolled out by all the major telecom players, and we have one of the lowest cost of data, which has led to an explosion in data consumption. An Indian company called Jio. So Jio has revolutionized internet and data. When it started, it provided free data to everyone, and reached a customer base of 400 million in just 3 years from launch. It's kind of an historic achievement in the telecom industry. The third enabler is skilled professional. So India, of course, now being the most populous country in the world, it has the advantage of a demographic dividend. So we have the largest population of young people, and these young people are digitally savvy. They know how to use technology, and this has been key. The second is upskilling by professional bodies. So bodies like ICMAI, CA India, and many others have a good enough focus on upskilling professionals in technological domain. So we talked about the key enablers. Now the key technologies which are being embraced by the accounting profession. Number one is cloud computing. Cloud computing basically is shared assets which are delivered on demand. So you don't have to incur capex, you can work on an OPEX model. This has leveled the playing field for small practitioners, small professional accounting firms, because they can now also utilize the benefits of accounting software which earlier only big firms used to get. So this has kind of leveled the playing field. And we have all seen in the COVID-19 lockdowns, we have seen people working from home and working 24/7, and nothing has stopped. So that has been made possible by cloud computing, also using tools like MS Teams and Zoom and those kind of things. Popular tools for cloud accounting, more specifically, are FreshBooks, Xero, Intuit QuickBooks, Zoho Books. Now, this has opened new professionals for new professional avenues, like advising clients on whether to adopt cloud computing, setting up accounting systems, audit of cloud accounting software. Key concerns to watch out for in cloud computing. In 2017, there was an incident on Cloudflare, which is called as a cloud bleed incident, wherein data of a lot of people were compromised across platforms. So these are some risks that we need to be aware of and mitigate. We have to avoid vendor lock-ins due to proprietary formats, proprietary APIs, and take care that the vendors have adequate disaster recovery and backup mechanisms. So that is about cloud computing. I believe everyone has heard about robotic process automation by now, and our previous speakers have covered this in greater detail. Basically, it codes repetitive tasks so that humans don't have to do it. So it's used for areas like high volume transactions, repetitive tasks, no errors, kind of thing. Use cases in accounting, some examples from India. These are published examples, public information. So RPA has been used for quicker financial closure. Example, GSK India reduced this process from 5 days to 2 days. So that's a reduction of like 60% and has made financial reporting quicker. Second is bank reconciliation. This example was also earlier repeated. So in the Indian context, Mahindra & Mahindra has automated this process, and they have merged it with SAP processes. So that's how they've used it. Tools like Power BI are used for management reporting, analytics, and the kind. Similarly, Tableau is also used. In tax function also, RPA has been widely used. There's a startup called ClearTax in India, which is funded by a US-based, one of the best accelerators, startup accelerators in the world, called Y Combinator. Even the revenue authorities have started using this. So the income tax department, we have a centralized processing center which processes the income tax returns filed by individuals and corporates. The GST department, goods and service tax, which is an indirect tax in India now, uses this for invoice matching, reconciliation, scrutiny of returns, and the like. Now we'll come to the third key technology. I believe everyone has heard about big data and analytics being a big thing now. So big data is massive sets of data that's generated. It's characterized by large volume, high velocity, and a very large variety and complexity of the sources of data. So we have text, we have video, we have audio, we have PDF documents, and the like. And what is analytics? Analytics is using this big data to derive insights and support decision making. Use cases of big data in accounting, again, this has been covered, so just running through. This is a big initiative by the GST department in India, the indirect tax department in India. They have launched a project called as Project Advait. It stands for Advanced Analytics in Indirect Taxes. Now this has been rolled out to identify fiscal risks, any unusual transactions, to identify if anyone is evading tax, anyone is doing some mischief, basically. So this is how it flags risky entities and uses data analytics and the new technologies. Similarly, the Income Tax Department had also launched Project Insight. This was not so much publicized, but has been in the works for a long time, again to curb evasion of taxes, black money, and the kind. I believe everyone has seen this. Has anyone not seen these photos? Not seen these logos? So the first one is ChatGPT, which is by OpenAI. And the second one is by Google, which is called as Bard. These have been like kind of everyone knows these now. So I'll let AI run the show for some time. So what is AI? I asked ChatGPT, what is AI? So this is what it replies, that it is simulation of human intelligence in machines and computer systems. And you can read the rest in the presentation. Now we'll use Bard for some work. So I asked Bard, brief me how Indian accounting profession has embraced AI. So I asked this to Bard, Google Bard, and this is what the reply looks like. So you can see AI has been very instrumental and is making inroads into the accounting profession as well. And it's not just AI, but it's mixing all other technologies like cloud, big data analytics, etc. Now, should you all worry about AI? Yes, that's what the report, which is backed by OpenAI, which is the creator of GPT. Yeah, okay. So this is what the report says, that tax preparers and accountants are at 100% risk from AI. So yes, you have to be worried. Some headlines where AI is being used again by tax department as well as the profession. Something for fun, these two logos are created by AI, not by me. So outlook for the future is, one, upskill. This can only save you. And second is, don't fear technology, embrace it with both hands. So a quote to end this, once a new technology rolls over you, you're not part of the steamroller, you are part of the road. That means you're finished now. Jack Welch, very well-known professional from General Electric, I'll end by this slide which says, change before you have to change. Thank you.
Thanks, Dilip, for that informative presentation. So our next speaker is also from India, but this time she's from CA India. She's a very enthusiastic young girl. I mean, she has contacted me about 1.5 weeks before the event. Actually, she has come here with her mother. She was excited to perform, an enthusiastic girl, and she is none other than Kasak Vijayavargi. So over to you, Kasak.
Namaste. Good afternoon, everyone present here, distinguished guests, and all the fellow colleagues from different corners of the world. Before we begin, I just want to tell you that in India, when the soldiers are being trained at the borderline, the commander asks, "How's the Josh?" So the soldiers reply, "Hi, sir." Now the same thing I want you from guys. Okay? I say, "How's the Josh?" What will reply? "How's the Josh?" No voice at all. "How's the Josh?" One together, everyone. I want everyone to be very active now. "How's the Josh?" Cool. So, to begin with, today, as we navigate to the accounting profession, this digital era, we see that India is embracing technology with its open arms. It's using technology in every field, basically. It's embracing technology to overcome challenges, to increase efficiency and consistency in its field. Well, to start with, I call it as we are moving from paper to pixels. The Indian accounting profession is moving from paper to pixels. To start with, I want to drag your attention to a small clip from none other than Prime Minister of India, Shri Narendra Modi.
इस बारे में सोचिए कि कैसे आप अपने प्रोफेशन में टेक्नोलॉजी का इस्तेमाल बढ़ाएंगे। चार्टर्ड अकाउंटेंट के फील्ड में फॉरेंसिक साइंस का कितना बड़ा रोल हो सकता है, उसको कैसे केयर किया जाए, उसको कैसे कैटर किया जाए, इनसे जुड़े भी लक्ष्य संभव हो।
So you saw, I guess many of you haven't understood because of the diverse language. It was in Hindi, where Prime Minister Narendra Modi talked how in each profession, specifically the speech was given by him on 1st of July 2017, which was actually the CA day and the GST launch day for India. He told that how we can embrace technology and keep our upskill to use technology in the accounting profession. It was not only the Prime Minister, but the President of India, Murmu, said use technology effectively to make payments, accounting, and tax collection systems seamless. Another headline from the Finance Minister of India, Nirmala Sitharaman, said adoption of new technology necessary for transparent accounting system. None other than ICI President also said that keep abreast of tech advances and members on upholding ethics and cybersecurity in the age of technology. Well, standing here now, it strikes me that top officers are talking about using technology, and today the whole session, the whole day we were listening to how technology should be used in every profession. We heard about AI, we heard about blockchain, different technology. Now here it strikes me, what? Why is the need? Why do we need, first of all? Why is technology coming into picture when we had papers? For that, increased efficiency and accuracy. Increasing your efficiency and reducing your workforce. Then real-time financial insights with big data. You are going to get your reports in no time. Just to fingertips, you have everything. RPA, robotic process automation, streamlining routine tasks. Robotic, I see this is going to be the future, guys. Someday, I'm going to, I'm not going to stand robots and robots are going to sit and listen to each other. The next 30 to 40 years, robotic is going to change the generations. Virtually collaborative platforms for remote accounting. Well, we are well aware of it. The COVID-19 pandemic has changed our lives drastically. How we use technology at home, we work from home, how globally we connected with people from home. So the COVID-19 pandemic led to 55% increase in the use of cloud-based accounting. Well, moving ahead, how is India taking its steps forward into this globalization, into this era of digital age? How is it wearing its innovation cap? So for that, just go back, flashback to 300 BCE, where we have Arthashastra. Bundle of books, turning pages, reading to laws, reading to rules, reading to accounting, standards, and knowing what it was. Fast forward, we made it to global. We introduced the IFRS, which is nothing but the International Financial Reporting Standards. We started coming in the global level. We started matching with everyone's standard. We came forward with the GST Act. As I said, 1st July 2017 was a revolutionary day for India, where the GST Act was introduced, and it gave incentives, tax breaks, and other programs to enhance the technological capacity. Well, the use of different accounting software, we came to accounting software, we came to fintech infusion, and the remote working. Well, I would like to mention here a fact that it has been stated in the EY report that by 2025, the fintech market of India is going to grow by $160 billion. Great number. Well, moving ahead, we saw how India is taking steps forward, but what is the back end doing it? How is the back end helping it? What is the legal landscape over embracing the technology? The Digital Senatal, nothing but the IT Act. The Secure World, your Banking Regulation Act. The Data Chronicles. Well, Ministry of Finance or the Ministry of Corporate Affairs, it usually just not love numbers, but to be very organized. And technology is helping us do that. The virtual handshake, nothing but your digital signature. The data in the sky, cloud computing. Immutable transactions, today we heard about blockchain, AI. That all comes under immutable transaction because I feel the blockchain is nothing but a ledger with the ink that cannot be erased. And we saw today how it was possible. Okay, majorly let's talk about Institute of Chartered Accountants of India, ICAI. What role is it playing? So ICAI is conducting seminars, conferences, courses, certified courses to embrace technology in the accounting profession. It has constituted a dam Digital Accounting and Assurance Board, for fostering a cohesive global strategy on aspects related to digital accounting. Let me name the few certified courses launched, that is Digital Competency Maturity Model, Data Analysis for Auditors, ICI course in Blockchain Technology, certified courses on Forensic Accounting. When ICI is taking so many steps ahead, it's giving us I feel it's giving us a spotlight where we are going to move ahead. It is providing us the, acting as a beacon to move ahead in the accounting profession. Well, okay, we saw the ICI body. Now let us see what the government is doing, the head is doing, what the government and what policies has it come up with. The Digital India campaign. Oh my God. None other than a revolutionary move in India was a Digital India campaign where, till today and in the coming years, it's going to be so digitalized that everything today, okay, fine, we're using at least papers and books because I feel after a gap of few years, we won't be using even paper and books. We'll be using just notepads, iPads and all. The Digital India campaign, digitalizing everything. Now, government partnership. The government of India is partnering with the global standards. It's partnering with its neighboring countries to come up with, a different accounting, what models it can come up with, what accounting, new courses it can come with. The partnership is going on with that. And then we come in shielding financial integrity. It's very important in this world where you're going with a, fast pace to secure your digital transaction because we see frauds happening in digital transaction as well. Then National E-Governance Plan, which is, I want to state here, by Nirmala Sitharaman, Finance Minister. She states that the introduction of technology in accounting profession or any profession is going to increase your pace by nearly 85%. A really great percentage in the previous one. We saw how the heads are playing their role. Now, what are the major private players are doing? They're introducing, digital wallets, e-voicing campaigns, startup ecosystems, edtech innovations. At every level, they're trying their best to come up and embrace technology to their level best. You can see here that advanced and predictive analysis level, it's 21%, and emerging technologies, accountants say they're currently investing in. The accountants who are investing in the current technologies. So that is 22% in 5G, and artificial intelligence is 20%. Growing at, this is just a number, but it's growing at a very fast pace. Well, one hand we have, all the good things. Other hand, we also have pitfalls. And it's our responsibility how we overcome with that pitfalls and find solutions to it. 25% of job displacements. People think when AI will come or when technology is going to come into their profession, they won't be having jobs. Is it that the case? Is it? No. How can we use that? By using technology, which is more human-oriented, which is, upskilling yourself. Using technology, we can interact with the humans, and which are more, going to use that technology in your profession to overcome with a much upskilled, course, or whatever you're performing with technology, you can increase it by 50%, by 20%. Training and adaptation. It is very important. I feel half knowledge is very dangerous. Really. I say something which I don't know, and then some other person says something which he doesn't know, or she doesn't know, could be very, sorry. So it's very important that using technology in a very efficient way, first learn and then do it. Then we have loss of personal touch. 10% loss of personal touch is, yes, it is there because human interaction or, feelings cannot ever be replaced. Very true. So, with this, let us conclude that what we can do, what accounting professionals are doing, what policymakers are doing, and what business owners are doing. Let me conclude to a brief and together that only point of coming here and talking about the profession or embracing technology is that upskill yourself, learn how to do it, and use it in a very efficient way so that you come out with bright colors, you come out with how, someday I want to hear one person from here introduce a new technology which can be used in our profession. Come up with that colors. So today we should owe that we are going to embrace technology to a level which no one can match. Set a benchmark for everyone. Thank you.
So thank you very much, Khasa. So before I introduce the next speaker, I must mention about the specific date that you have mentioned in your presentation, 1st of July 2017. I remember one day prior, 30th of June, I was in India attending a conference organized by Cost Accountants of India. After the conference, they were getting ready for the live help desk to address the concerns of Indians because of the GST implementation. So from the audience, can I ask, what is the order I am following? I first call Farhan, then the two Indians, Dilip and Khasa. So whom am I going to invite next? What is the order, Dan? Alphabetical order, very correct. So I'm going to invite two Nepalis. The first to begin with, Ujjwal. He's from Kathmandu and he's representing Institute of Chartered Accountants of Nepal. Over to you, sir.
Hello. After a long time, finally I'm here for the presentation. One day, when I was passing through the streets of my village, I saw a group of young bloods in a tea stall. They were seated like this, and playing dice in their mobile phones. At that time, I remembered those days when I used to play dice in those wooden frames with my friends. And at the same time, I too realized that the technologies were replacing things, not humans. If we humans know how to use or how to replace those things, then technology can never replace us. Yeah. So I forgot the remote. Okay. At the present time, the technology has become so advanced that we accountants are up to date with their theoretical knowledge only. We don't know how to utilize them effectively in our daily lives. In this presentation, I will be talking about the embracing technology in accounting profession with a Nepalese perspective. The table of contents will be as follows. We'll have a sweet introduction and then talk about the impacts, a Nepalese perspective, future contributions, some counter viewpoints, a case study from the Romania, and I will finally conclude it. So taking reference to the business world, technological advancement serves as an asset for businesses, but liability to we accountants. Now, asset, liability. What is the concept behind this? Speaking about the asset, when there is technological advancement, the businesses can hire the accountants to cope up with those technologies, and they can expand themselves, referring to the further economic benefits. But for we accountants, we need to first learn those technologies. We have the obligation to learn those technologies, then only we can get the benefit. So that's why we can term it as a liability for us. Now, you might have considered two words here, AI and technology. So are they same? I say no. If this entire hall is a technology, then this stage is an AI. The AI is just a subset of technology. It's nothing more than that. Now, everything in this world has two impacts, positive, negative. Now, talking over the positive impacts, it can be the automation in the routine and repetitive tasks, likely the data security. We have been blessed with a range of tools such as multi-factor authentications, anti-malware softwares, other data security tools. Likely about the analysis, we have been provided with the Microsoft Excel and other analytical tools for the data analysis. And also we can have the real-time insights of the data so as to have prompt decision. Now talking about the negative impacts, obviously there will be cost increment and there will be the higher risk of data breach and cyber security. Now there might be a confusion, like few moments ago I said about the data security. The data security will be enhanced, and right now the same me is saying about the risk of data breach and cyber attack. How? This is the question. I accept the fact that it is a tough task to go through the client system for the hackers, but we professional accountants also have access to the client data. We store their data in those devices, and it is not a tough task for them to go through those devices. That's why, with the advancement of technology, there will be a higher risk of data breach and cyber attack. Now, being a representative from Nepal, how can I end this presentation without talking with you about the Nepal, right? Now, what do you guys know about the Nepal? Lord Buddha was born in Lumbini, Mount Everest, or momos? Yeah, I was joking. About the Nepal, the accounting of revenues and expenses started in Nepal in around 450 AD during the rule of Lichavi dynasty. It is much older, right? We have been through the long path, like from the manual accounting to the fully automated systems, we have traveled a long path till date. I accept the fact that we cannot compare ourselves with the fully advanced or fully developed countries, but I am also happy to share that we have been progressing rapidly. A warm thanks goes to the COVID-19 also, because we had rapid progress in that period. Now, how we Nepalese accountants use technology in our daily lives then? We Nepalese accountants are using accounting softwares, various multi-factor authentication and other data security tools, like the clouds, analytical tools, blockchain technology is also emerging there. But we are not much advanced, we accept the fact. We are slower than the other countries, like the European countries, but I also believe in the fact that slow and steady always wins the race. Yeah. So, if this pace of the technological advancement goes on, then what would the future look like? Before showing you the future, I want to share you an incident. It was a time when I was giving CAP 2 level examinations. It was 1 month before that exam, and I was much anxious and stressed. So I went to the astrologer. I went to him, said, Sir, I'm much worried about my career and future. Can you please read my palm and say something about my career? He looked at my palm for the 5 minutes and said, child, you have to face a lot of failures this year. You don't have a good time right now. Oh man. I just have the exams 1 month after this time, and I paid him for increasing my anxiety level. Oh man. Okay, fine, I'm done. I will be going. And from that moment, I knew that future is so much anxious and stressful. So I cannot say you what the exact future look like, but I can obviously assure you these 3 E's and a range of services. Like there will be increased efficiency, higher level of productivity, the process will be economical in the long run, as well as we accountants can have wider range of services. Okay, I accept the fact that I am not perfect, but I also believe that you guys are also not perfect. Everything has criticism in this world. Technological advancement also had some criticism. So what critics say about this then? They say that the technological advancement are going to displace the jobs, leaving the many people unemployed, and about the data privacy risk. Now behind the data privacy risk, they share the logic that we store the data in the clouds and third-party accounting software, so we have the higher risk of data privacy risk due to those third-party softwares. This is the logic provided by them. But this might be possible, but I don't fully accept that fact. Leaving this criticism behind, let's discuss a case study. This case study was conducted in Romania in 2017 during month of January and February. The motive of the case study was to find out that how much we accountants are intact with the technology, their benefits, and their security risks. And about the result, it was as expected. there were two findings of the result. The one was we accountants had the theoretical knowledge of the overall technology, but we don't know how to exploit them. We don't know how to utilize them in our accounting profession. And the second finding, and the second conclusion, they knew about the overall security risks, but they don't know how to cope up with those risks. These were the findings. Then what was the overall conclusion of this case and this presentation then? The experts concluded that the mere theoretical knowledge of the technology or AI is just a trash for us. We can't do anything with that. We need to have the practical exposure. So practical-based training is must for our future existence. And likely, it serves as boon for us only if we accountants can utilize them properly. I hope you enjoyed this presentation. Thank you so much. Ayubowan and Jai Nepal.
So thank you, Ujjwal. So that is Ujjwal from Kathmandu. I must say, Ujjwal came with his friend Pramesh, and both of them had a lovely time so far. They came one day prior, others came yesterday, but they came on 17. Yesterday, they went to the Hikkadua beach. So they had a lovely time, I'm sure. The experience so far is enthralling for both of them. So now let me invite Pramesh. He is also from Nepal, Kathmandu, to address the adoption of technology and AI in the curriculum of the ICA Nepal. Over to you, Pramesh.
Good evening. Namaste. Ayubowan. First of all, I'd like to extend my heartfelt gratitude to CMA Sri Lanka and Student Guild for their warm hospitality on behalf of Institute of Chartered Accountants of Nepal and students. Throughout my presentation, we'll be starting from how accounting started in Nepal and what is the current scenario of accounting in today's tech age. Similar to what Ujjwal said, concept of accounting in Nepal is believed to be started in 450 Common Era to 715 Common Era, between 400 to 750 Common Era. Few centuries after that, double entry bookkeeping system in Nepal was started in mid-19th century, that is 1830 to 1860. Fast forward to today, we have NFRS 2018 as reporting framework, a converged version of IFRS 2018. If I have to list two most significant paradigm shifts in accountancy, they would be double entry bookkeeping system and technological advancement. I think I should not explain double entry bookkeeping system at least here. So technological advancement, it completely transformed accounting. It replaced manual-based accounting, not only replaced, but it significantly increased efficiency, accuracy, and data management capabilities of the accountant. Entering to today's topic, embracing technology in accounting. So I'll be talking from the aspect of individual and small businesses, from the corporate business levels, and for service providers in accounting profession in context of Nepal. Starting with SMEs, firstly, entrepreneurs of this nature should educate and upskill their skill about accountancy and how accounting technology works. In context of Nepal, entrepreneurs of this nature are not only focused on branding, but they also know how crucial is accounting and they are upskilling their skill. After that, they should choose suitable accounting software which aligns with their need, which is friendly in nature and is feature rich. Again, all thanks to our IT engineers, they have built good software for basic needs of SME, and they tailor fit after that for a particular SME. After that, they should regularly update software for bug fixes and to enjoy new features. Secure data and privacy, I think one of the most gray area of embracing IT in accountancy is security and privacy related issues. So SMEs should implement multi-factor authentication and other security system. Again, in Nepal, most of the financial scams happen with password hacking. During embracing IT, all the SMEs should seek professional advice so that we professionals can give them insights about how the technology will be embraced in their business. Now I'll talk about corporate businesses, how they can embrace IT in their business. Firstly, they should assess their business needs. assessing their requirement is very necessary. In Nepal, corporate businesses house often hire us professional accountants for accounting requirement analysis. After finding their requirement, they should invest in appropriate technology. Again, thanks to our IT engineers. Our IT engineers had been able to fulfill the requirements of the business in Nepal. Now, after investing in a new technology, they should provide employee trainings. And after that, they should foster a culture of innovation to their accounting team to adapt and explore new technology. The accounting software of a business possesses vast amount of data which can significantly impact the competition. So they should implement a robust security system. Again, I talked about it earlier. One of the major gray area or significant gray area of using IT in accounting is privacy and security related issues. So Nepal is not untouched from that. After that, they should regularly review and update the process. In meanwhile, they should be in constant partnership with the technology providers so that they can provide new advancement in technologies in accounting. Now I'll talk about from the perspective of service providers in accounting profession. Firstly, they should invest in software. And now lately, the firms in Nepal, the accounting firms in Nepal have started to invest in a very high-tech software, high-tech data analytics tool and data visualization tool. If I have to talk about data analytics, again, Excel has been one of the widely used data analytics tool, not only in Nepal, but also I think all over the world. Automate tasks. After implementing technology in accounting, of course, automation will follow the lead. Use of e-payments. Now, accounting firms can encourage their client for opting the e-payments. But I have to say that still check is one of the widely used method of receiving payment by the firms. Implement e-invoicing. After implementing e-invoicing, firms will now have to spend less time in processing the invoices. But again, this has not been used efficiently. Talking about legal requirement in Nepal, firms billing more than $1 million, approximately $1 million, should compulsorily go in central billing management system, which is governed by Inland Revenue Department of Nepal. Adopt cloud storage. This is being done in Nepal. Microsoft OneDrive is widely used cloud storage in Nepal. My principal often says, work not documented is work not done. So I have been making him happy by documenting all my works in this cloud storage. So he is more than happy now. Explore AI. Right now, artificial intelligence has not been used in Nepal for accounting or auditing. So AI has been used for literature review only. We use ChatGPT for doing some literature reviews only. Use data analytics. Now, after implementing all of these technologies, firms can use high-tech data analytics tool for analyzing the client's data. Secure system, I think first lesson in our ethics class is about confidentiality. So we should maintain our confidentiality uptight. For doing such, I think it would be more easier in accounting software or auditing software or in technology. So secure system, in Nepal, we have been adopting a high-tech security system or robust security system in our firms. Continuous learning, we should always be able to learn. We accountants always must learn the new advancement in the technologies. And lastly, whatever we do regarding embracing technology in accounting, we must stay compliant with the laws, regulation, legislation, accounting standards, auditing standards, other relevant laws. Now, earlier I talked about two more significant paradigm shifts in accounting. Now I'll be talking about why artificial intelligence is a new paradigm shift in the accounting profession, regardless of we choose to accept it or not. AI has the potential to transform the accounting by bringing the significant benefits to the industry. I have listed 4 more significant points that will prove my point. So automation and efficiency. As I earlier said, wherever technology will go, automation will follow the lead. After opting the artificial intelligence, now routine tasks like invoice processing, bank reconciliation. Earlier, a few speakers said about bank reconciliation and AI. So bank reconciliation and other things will be done automatically, which will reduce the manual work of the accountants, and we can focus on more strategic activities rather than routine activities. After that, enhanced data analysis. AI can process vast amount of data in a click. Now, after the AI process vast data, it will analyze the complex data and provide us the insights so we accountants can provide valuable insights to our clients. Improved fraud detection, I think again predecessing speakers said about this. AI can analyze the vast amount of data and find any irregularities and anomalies to the data from which we can see where fraud could have been lied. Advanced predictive analytics. AI can analyze vast amount of historical data and provide future insights to the clients. So we accountants can provide future analysis to the clients. So current scenario of technology uses in accounting in Nepal. Nepal is still in the verge of development. Nepal is an emerging economy, so it is still in verge of development of big industries. So advanced system applications are used by big industries, so it is gradually increasing. Accountants in Nepal are also inclined to uses of advanced analytics and technology in audit, but again, the professional accountants of Nepal have not invested in high-tech audit systems, so uses of black box approach is done over white box approach in electronic data processing environment. Additional challenge I faced during my articleship is clients do not completely rely on the electronic data. So they will ask my signature, they will ask my workings in a physical paper. So situation of technological investment in professional firms in Nepal is something like we have wholly automated environment in some firms and advanced communication system is being opted by the few firms. Concluding my presentation, usage of IT is no more any option, but it has become the necessity. In this dynamic economy, change is unrestrainable, so we accountants must be learning the new advancement in technologies, accounting technologies. Slowly in Nepal, usage of information technology is being underlying factor in accounting in Nepal. Thank you for your time.
Thank you, Ramesh. That was a very good presentation on the impact of technology and AI on the accounting education in ICA Nepal. So your friend was asking me what Kathmandu is known for, what Nepal is known for. I have recently visited Nepal in February this year. I must say it's nightlife. Yeah, it's very active. Okay. So now after Nepal, we turn to Sri Lanka. So here from Sri Lanka also we have two speakers representing CA Sri Lanka and CMA Sri Lanka. First to speak about the adoption of technology in the curriculum of CA Sri Lanka, I would now invite Mr. Supun Muthukuda.
Good evening, everyone. I think it's coming too bulky to put forward everything right now because I think you are overloaded with the new technology and the adoption of technology in the South Asian region, isn't it? But by the way, the most impactful thing that I want to emphasize right now is the entire South Asian region is in the process of adopting to the technology, seeking for a better tomorrow. If you were very keen on the speech made by a Bangladeshi delegate, he told that Bangladesh is in a weave of becoming a technologically sound country by 2040 or somewhere like that. Are you guys aware what is the plan of Sri Lanka on that perspective? If someone is aware on that, could you please raise your hand? What is Sri Lanka's perspective? By when Sri Lanka is planning to be a developed, or especially when it comes to technology, a technically sound country? Are you aware of it? Our president is always talking about this right now. Yes, it is to be a hub of technology by 2048. Imagine your age then by 2048. Yes. In order to go there, I don't know whether it is 2048 or earlier than that or later than that, but in order to go there, you have to understand how Sri Lanka should stand for the technology. So let me pinpoint the Sri Lankan perspective in embracing technology in accounting profession. I'm Supun Muthukuda, representing CS Sri Lanka. I'm a past finalist of CS Sri Lanka, currently reading for the final case study. So let us moving forward what Sri Lanka is all about. I have to tell you something. Once I visited Kathmandu few months before, I asked the same question from the Nepal audience. What do you know about Sri Lanka? I think Ujjwal can remember, the response from Nepal people was that they know Sri Lanka because there was an economic crisis. That was the only thing that they answered when I asked, what do you know about Sri Lanka? But Sri Lanka is a fertile soil with manifesting landscape. Do you know Sri Lanka is having one of the richest biodiversities in the world, where you can reach most of the different biodiversities within very few hours. And on the other hand, now the world geologists have explored the fact that the world's least gravity landscape is located also in Sri Lanka. So Sri Lanka is a country which we can go forward with many resources and many aspects. But when it comes to these technological implementations, the accounting profession in Sri Lanka, I think we have to go on a very long journey. If you consider the CS Sri Lanka viewpoint on the technological implementations, all the curriculums have now been adopted with integration to information system skills. If you consider, the curriculum of main subjects also include IT-based subjects, and also each and every level of CS Sri Lanka curriculum have now been adapted and backed by an information technology subject. I'm aware that CMA Sri Lanka is also having such, because I'm currently lecturing for CMA Sri Lanka students. So they are also in a more holistic view in the way that we can implement technology in the accounting profession. So one of the major things that we should understand in Sri Lankan perspective is Sri Lanka's readiness to face the Industrial Revolution 4.0. Could you please raise your hand if you are aware of Industrial Revolution 4.0 right now? Industrial Revolution first started in Europe, you know, the history, but now it has been evolved the fourth generation, where everything, almost everything that an ordinary person could do is replaced by technology. So now in the world, you have a challenge to secure your position competing with technology. Previously, you had to compete with people in order to secure your place, but now you have to compete with the technology. So how sound you are, how proficient you are to compete with technology would decide your future. So Industrial Revolution 4.0 is all what you see with artificial intelligence, Internet of Things, and all other new technological implementations where man work is replaced by technology. So, as accountants, we have a holistic approach to address this matter and go as sound as we used to be, tackling the technological implementation, keeping them as an opportunity, not a challenge. Okay, so one of such major things that you see in the Industrial Revolution 4.0 is the use of blockchain. I need your responses, by the way, because once I was asking questions from the Nepal participants, they were screaming with the answers. I request the same from Sri Lankan audience as well. Tell me, is blockchain-based cryptocurrencies are allowed in Sri Lanka for financial transactions? What do you think of it? Is it allowed in Sri Lanka? Is it completely banned in Sri Lanka? I'm representing a separate institute, so in order to secure the brand name of CMA Sri Lanka, you have to respond to me. Tell me, is it completely banned? No, very good. It's not completely banned. But is it allowed in Sri Lanka? No. You are in the premises, I think, owned by the Central Bank of Sri Lanka, so we can't tell lies in this moment. Central Bank of Sri Lanka has given an announcement in the month of March 2023 stating that any of the transaction based by cryptocurrency for payments will not be made responsible by the Central Bank of Sri Lanka. So if you want to engage in such a transaction, you have to do it with your own risk. So it's not completely banned, but Central Bank of Sri Lanka is not going to get the responsibility of it. But if you consider Indian perspective, two speakers were speaking about India, they are in one of the major strategic position when it comes to the cryptocurrencies. If I'm not mistaken, in the Asia-Pacific region, India is at the 4th position of cryptocurrencies. Do you think that there are a major sophisticated viewpoint where India is able to do that, and on the other hand, Sri Lanka is unable to do that? No. But India's economic policy, the Bharat economic policy, has been in line in a manner to do that. In Sri Lanka also we can do that. Actually, the Central Bank of Sri Lanka has completely not forgotten to do that. By the way, there were certain scams recorded. That is why they have not been responsible for such currently, but they are also looking forward to it. The response that is coming from India is, as per India's perspective, what they are looking for is to introduce a cryptocurrency which is completely legalized and backed with a proper supervision of India. You know that the major risk that is associated with these blockchain-based cryptocurrencies, no one is going to responsible on it, and it is not legalized. But now it is going to be legalized in Indian perspective because they are in the process of implementing one major cryptocurrency, rather regulating what is already being traded in the market, which is legalized and controlled. I think rather it is being done by India and one nation, as one nation, we SAARC, the South Asian Association of Regional Cooperation, as one unity can implement such a currency or kind of a cryptocurrency where everyone in the SAARC region can benefit. I would suggest if something like that can be done, these associated challenges would be waived off. They are not inherited. We can manage them. So that is about it. The next thing is artificial intelligence. I'm not going to discuss on it because I think you heard of that for many times since the morning. So I think you are more capable even than me about artificial intelligence and big data analytics. Big data analytics, Internet of Things, these kind of things, I think you are so much of aware even than me. So I don't think that I should discuss on it because you had so much of discussions on that. A metaverse. Just tell me how many of you have experienced the augmented reality? Yes. If you have experienced the augmented reality, this is a scientific fiction right now, you yourself can think how this metaverse can be adopted to the accounting profession of Sri Lanka. Okay? I keep that to your end to think and come up with your responses and suggestions because this is still a fiction but could be implemented in the near future. Okay, all of these, while these are being implemented, you should be secured to avoid cyber crimes and keep up with the cyber security. So you have to be legally ready, your policies should be ready, attitudinal ready, and your knowledge should also be ready for that. So with that thing, what I wanted to just let you know was that Sri Lanka is having a very good potential of going forward with these technologies, but still we are struggling with several things which could be avoided in a very strategic manner. These institutions are doing that, and as aspirants of future CA profession, you also have a very good responsibility to cater this matter. So the summary is that you yourself is having everything upon your head, upon your shoulders, and upon your hands. The way you utilize them would decide the future of Sri Lanka. I don't think that Nepalis again tell that they know Sri Lanka just for the sake of economic crisis. The responsibility is yours. Thank you.
Thank you, Supun. I beg your pardon, not only from Supun, but also from other speakers. I beg pardon for having to curtail time in the interest of time because we need to finish this conference, and also I think there's a cultural event planned after the conference, but in the interest of time, we have to curtail the time allocated per speaker. Earlier, we thought of giving 15 minutes, but then again, we had to cut it down to 10 minutes. So we have one more speaker. She's from Sri Lanka. Last but not least, she's from CMA Sri Lanka. She's Ms. Vimuktika, and she will talk about the integration of technology in the CMA curriculum.
your inner world, where the things around you talk to you. Okay? The rice cooker, the refrigerator, even the computer in your workplace, they talk to you. And you have to do nothing but to instruct them on what you need. Okay, funny, isn't it? Isn't it, guys? Yeah. So this might sound like a futuristic movie. Yet, we are in this reality towards today. So, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the age of technology where the ordinary becomes extraordinary and the things around you are just not things, but they are smart, connected, and ready to change the way we experience the world. So I'm Vimuktika, representing CMA Sri Lanka, and I heard earlier from my CA Sri Lanka friend a lot of proud things about my country. So it encouraged the sense of pride in me. So with that, let me take you on a tour, another tour around Sri Lanka on embracing technology in accounting profession. Are you ready, friends? Ready? Sri Lankan friends? My other countries' friends? Ready? Yeah, okay, cool. Let's go. So this tour will take you to the introduction of embracing technology and the evolution of technology in accounting, COVID-19 in Sri Lanka, yeah, and a case study, also a time to think future of accounting. So let's quickly go. So, an accountant. What do you think of an accountant? Gathers data, records them, and based on that, analyzes data, and gives valuable information to the decision-making process at the end of the day. And what technology means? It is developed with high scientific knowledge to solve problems, enhance efficiency, also to improve human activities in every industry. So short and sweet, it makes everything easy, okay? And what will happen if we embrace that technology? Okay, so you will find a good answer to this question at the end of this tour. Moving on to the evolution of accounting. Evolution of technology in accounting. So in our late 80s and early 90s, we were in a manual accounting era. Then we arrived like in the mid-90s, at the late 90s, we arrived at an era of computer-based accounting. And now, after 20s, we're towards a technology-driven accounting era. So first, let me talk about the manual accounting era, where we kept a pile of documents on a table. Oh my God, see the picture? Exhausted, isn't it? Yeah, exhausted. Yeah. And we had only few lines to battle the numbers. Okay? Only the physical documents, ledgers, and calculator kind of things. So friends, we spent hours gathering data. We had no time to focus on them and to analyze them and to make decisions. Okay? Then we arrived at computer-based accounting era. So you can see cool things over here. We found computer, We made some room, some space on our table for the innovation part. And then the spreadsheets came. Also, the desktop-based accounting software like QuickBooks, Peachtree also discovered. And with the use of internet, and yes, we can say internet came to the show. And the curtains were drawn, revealing the doors to connect all around the world. Then, ERP systems. So I think you know what an ERP system is. It is something, we can say it's an integrated system, not only the accounting function, but also the core functions in businesses like HR, manufacturing, and procurement. Every core functions are integrated as one system. So cool, and we are more relaxed, right? Compared to the manual accounting era. So we can be more focused on data analytics. Here comes the most interesting part with cutting-edge technology. Technology-driven accounting. So you heard of a lot of things, a lot of technological tools earlier. So let me quickly go through all the things. First, Internet of Things, IoT. So they are a network of interrelated devices that connect and exchange data with other IoT devices. Then comes cloud computing. So imagine you doing your accounts sitting on a cloud in the sky. Feel how relaxed it would be. So like that, computer-based accounting software like Xero, QuickBooks Online, they allow multi-use access from anywhere, anytime, and they allow safe online remote server storage with real-time data. Then automation, we can have some free time while the things are getting automated. And AI, artificial intelligence, we talked about this a lot, but I want you to give some alternative versions of ChatGPT. Those are Google Bard AI and Perplexity AI. So artificial intelligence can mimic human intelligence. Also, they can perform some tasks like humans, short and sweet. And then blockchain technology. So it's like a shared database which stores data in blocks and connect them with unchangeable chains. So it helps secure transactions and data sharing. Then cryptocurrencies, Bitcoin and Ethereum, new forms of digital assets and payment methods. Okay, data analytic tools. I'm sure all of you have seen the charts and graphs area of the accounting package you use. So we can have more quick insights with these data analytic tools from large data sets at present. And RPA, it's an advanced version of automation. Thank you. Automation with AI. So I'll quickly go through this. Also the accounting software mobile apps and ESG technology on environmental, social, and governance metrics. And RegTech, the technology on regulatory things and requirements. So we have automated the data entry process, and we automated the data analyzing part, and now we have more time to focus on making decisions and planning. So we know everything is a two-bladed sword. There are positive things and negative things. Like this, you can quickly go through this. We have enhanced efficiency, accuracy, data analysis, compliance things, auditing, transparency, real-time data, and the negative side, initial cost, learning curve, data security and privacy concerns. So, yeah. COVID-19 and Sri Lanka. So I want to stress that with COVID-19, we have an uptrend in using cloud-based accounting systems in SMEs in Sri Lanka. So the awareness percentage before COVID is 54%, and it has gone up to 60% after COVID, and the adoption level from 35% to 43%, so we can be happy as Sri Lankans. Okay, this is the technology landscape in Sri Lanka. So I will highlight on the most important things. So we are towards a concept of DigiCon Sri Lanka, and we have large cloud service manufacturers like Celti Mobitel. Also, we have embarked on a journey of financial technology. So as he said, we are towards, and we are climbing the ladder towards the Industrial Revolution 4. So to do that, we have to battle some of these, all of these challenges. So the resistance to change, technological divide, there is government bureaucracy, cybersecurity concerns, everything we have to battle to do that quickly. So this is the roadmap to Sri Lanka. We should have a clear vision strategy, infrastructure development, digital literacy education, regulatory frameworks, e-government services, startups and innovations, digital infrastructure services, cybersecurity and data protection, smart cities and IoT, industry digitalization, skill development, public-private partnerships, and international collaboration, continuous monitoring, adoption. Here comes the digital Sri Lanka. So we first should educate people on the importance of digitalization, and then we should broaden the mindset, and we should embrace the technology and improve infrastructure, and then continuous update is needed always. Then we can have a digitalized Sri Lanka. So all the industries are towards a technology-driven era. So one of the best accounting professional bodies in Sri Lanka is CMA. So I would like to go through a case study on how CMA adopted technology. Okay. So cool. So we are towards, see at CMA, we are towards a digitalization concept, and we had these kinds of learning supports and also digital engagements. And CMA tries to bridge the gap between the accounting profession and accounting education. So I'm happy to be a CMA student. And future accountants be like, we can say AI plus human collaboration, and the question will still continue. So for this question, my suggestion for you guys is prepare for the future and update and upskill with technology. Otherwise, you'll be left behind. Thank you.
Yes, now we come to the end of our session. Let's give a loud round of applause to all our presenters, because they have presented their countries, respective countries representing highlighting the integration of technology in the curriculum of each institute. So now to start the Q&A session, we don't have that much of time, but to start the Q&A session, let me introduce the co-chair. Our co-chair today is Ms. Sureka Katavala. She is a council member of CMA Sri Lanka, fellow member of CMA Sri Lanka, and also a fellow member of Chartered Accountants Sri Lanka. She is currently working as the Associate Director of Central Bank of Sri Lanka. So to start the Q&A session, now I invite Ms. Sureka Katavala.
Thank you, Ruchira, and thank you very much for all the presenters for their wonderful presentations. And in the interest of the time, I'll pose very few questions. And first, I'd like to ask, during the presentation, there are some concerns. So, issues raised, particularly in regard to displacement of employment. All the presentations you all have highlighted, it's as a fact of a concern also, or a risk with regard to evolution of technology in the perspective of accounting profession. There I would like to ask what kind of solutions or measures that cannot be considered as a challenge given the circumstances, because it will, even though it will replace traditional professions like bookkeeping, clerical work and all, but it will add more value to the profession. What kind of areas you all think that to overcome that challenge?
So I'll start with an example. When ERP systems were introduced, there was a similar concern that ERP will take up jobs. And that's always a short-term impact of technology which automates some part. But as we have seen now, ERP is integral to accounting, and all accountants or all professionals have to learn and live with that. And that has actually enhanced the profession. So that is what I believe the new technologies like AI, big data, analytics will be key to accounting in the future. And it might be a disruption in the short term, but in the long run, it will be a critical tool and a kind of foundation for these kind of tasks.
Yeah, I want to add something. I totally agree with him. And moreover, in 4IR, the many jobs will be eliminated by the AI, but the economic progress will grow further. And there will be number of jobs also, it will be created by the artificial intelligence and the technology. So there is nothing need to worry. We need to upskill ourselves. That's the thing.
Yeah, about the job displacement. Displacement is sure, 100%. All you need to do is to upgrade yourself. There is no any solutions rather than upgradation. Yeah.
So I think when we are in the same position, we can't embrace, with the advanced technology, we can't grow. So the displacement will happen for sure. But what we should do is to upskill. So upskilling doesn't mean like we should know about the technology, but we should try it on our own. So as a student also, I'm trying technology, I'm trying to use technology. So I think everyone should do it personally. Then we can have more new jobs and areas of businesses than the displacement of jobs, if we focus on the percentages.
I have a question to ask as an educator. Now, she has mentioned that in CMA Sri Lanka, that I know, in the curriculum, especially in the case study, we have integrated technology. Likewise, in your countries, in your curriculum, where the integration of technology is visible, in which part of the syllabus the integration of technology is visible? Is it in the case study, or is there a subject before that where the technology is integrated?
So in final level, under Chartered Accountancy course of ICANN, we have a subject named Management Information Communication System, MICS. So it is related to IT. And moreover, we should complete our 100 hours IT training before appearing in final examinations of CAP 3 level.
At the final level, at the strategic level?
Yes, before appearing for final level examination, we should undergo a 100-hour IT training.
So you're talking about the technology, right? Technology in the courses introduced, right? in the curriculum. So basically, we do have different events and seminars conducted monthly, twice or thrice, talking about technology. And then in the curriculum also, we have a subject of information technology, enterprise information systems, and strategic management, where we talk about the technology. And we also have different courses, not only for the students, but for the members of Chartered Accountants or ICI India, where they're conducting conferences, seminars, and teaching about how technology can be integrated there. That's right.
Yeah, in case of Bangladesh, our syllabus has recently changed from 2021. Previously, the subject was in the intermediate level, and now it's become more advanced level. And moreover, I just agree with her that the professional development for the professional accountant, our professional body like ICMB, they focus on the professional development who are practicing in the market. So there is a training, strategic level, and the development of the new technology and the AI, how the accounting role is changed. So this kind of training regularly happens in our institute.
I would like to know from all presenters now, before you get the membership, before applying for membership, is it compulsory for you to complete an practical IT subject?
Yes, it is.
In your country, yes.
Yeah. So like before we start our articleship, the 3-year training program, before our CA final, it is compulsory to complete your orientation and information technology. And after you are in your articleship period, you have to complete advanced training on IT and orientation as well for the final level.
Okay, great. Nepal?
Similar to what she said, in Nepal also, we cannot appear in final level examination without undergoing a practical 100 hours training.
So practical is already included in the theory subjects. There is some portion of the marks they allocated in the practical, and if you are not past the practical, then it will be not allowed. Yes.
Audience, if you want to ask any questions, you can ask. If you want to ask any questions from the audience, you can ask. I can pass the mic.
I have a question. Indian is strong and energetic lady.
Oh, hi.
Just I want to know, now we are in cloud era, and your country, how you will ensure uninterrupted electricity, speedy internet, and skilled manpower, and your regulatory body, how will help this barrier to overcome?
Oh, sorry, can you come again, the last part of your question?
Your professional body like CA and CMA and your governments, how they plan to overcome the barriers like uninterrupted electricity and mobile data and just like internet to use the cloud accounting.
Okay, you're talking about how we are moving towards cloud computing, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so cloud computing basically is the data in the sky, that what I said in my PPT, right? So we have different private players. We are integrating ERP systems. We told about we have this QuickBooks, Zoho, where your data is stored online and you can access it from anywhere through your Google accounts or your Microsoft accounts or your Apple accounts. So we are introducing different apps, different, basically it is apps first which comes. We are moving to websites as well, which creating data to be stored online. So technology is upgrading that way.
It's okay. I just want to know.
Yeah.
For the county, it needs electricity. In this economic crisis, how your country will ensure the uninterrupted electricity to use the cloud?
Economic crisis in India.
All over the globe.
Fortunately, India is currently not facing any economic crisis, and whenever might have faced in the past. But overcoming, you're talking about the electricity part, what you're telling. The cloud computing, it doesn't deal with electricity, it's the network you're talking about,
Yeah,
basically the network. So accessing network, putting global and putting all, one connection, like blockchain has connected everything. So like that for cloud computing as well, we have a connected network online, right? They are, this, you have this agreements to be signed with your cloud computing providers for providing you the basic facilities.
If you consider your country's rural area, they can use 4G or 5G.
Sorry?
4G or 5G internet to connect the cloud.
You're talking about how do you connect the 4G or 5G to the cloud?
Yeah.
Cloud connection to the, 1 second.
So I'll answer that. India has almost 90 to 95% of its area covered by 4G networks.
Okay, fine.
And 5G has been rolled out in most of the metro cities, and it's being rolled out fast in rural areas too. It has the support of the government, and the telcos are also making big investments. Regarding the power supply, what I'd like to add is that we are adding a lot of renewable energy supply. So I don't think there's an issue with that, and we are also going ahead with battery storage for energy, with green hydrogen and all of this coming up. So I don't think that, we can easily overcome any crisis. We have recently come up with a data protection bill, which mandates that all data has to be stored, private data has to be stored in India. So government is taking many steps to ensure that there is no interruption and mitigating the future risks.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, I'll just post a comment question. During the session presentations, it was nicely captured the role of all the stakeholders in this process, including government, policymakers, business community, as well as regulators. And you all touched about the future perspective of accounting, digitalization, likewise. Then how do you recognize the auditor's perspective in this scenario? Because we know that paperless financial transactions, we need audit trail likewise. In that respect, what is your suggestion? So how we can capture that aspect?
So basically, yeah, please proceed. Yeah.
Can you repeat the question again?
Can I repeat? Auditor's perspective, how we can capture this process, because with the digitalization, generally paperless financial transactions, probably we may lose audit trail. Accordingly, how do we capture that aspect? Thank you.
Let me tell the Sri Lankan perspective, because I am working for an audit firm for 3 years right now. The major concern is that after the COVID-19 period, we were not able to get the hard copies and the originally certified copies of documents for the audit purpose. Generally, you know that we have to check the rubber seal, check whether the signature is authentic, and certain procedures were there we were performing previously, but we can't do them longer. In that sense, actually, what we are doing in external audits is we are having first an integrated full system audit, because all the figures that are coming to the financial statement is a product of the system itself. So we are implementing the IT experts to do a system audit, check all the data migrations, and see whether we can rely upon the system infrastructure first. Then we can get some kind of assurance about the figures that are coming to the financial system at the end. That is the major thing we are doing. Then once we are coming to the substantive audit procedures, we will be checking sometimes the soft copies, but then the soft copy has to have certain assertions in place. For example, that has to be directly coming to the auditors without copying to anyone. That should be in a direct line, and all the other e-signatures have to be properly documented. There will be a mandate of e-signatures where we use image scanning methods and check whether they are authentic.
Likewise, certain sophisticated, newly implemented audit procedures are being taken place. It is not just the technology has improved, it is just the audit also have been improved, taking up certain measures to track these things with newer technology. That is what we do.
I want to add something. Recently, our ICAB, the Chartered Accountant, they have formed one system, that document verification system. So every audited accounts should be published, and it can be verified from the ICAB website. So previously, they used to have one company, 3 or 4 accounts, one for the tax purpose, one for the loan purpose, and so much manipulation was there. So because of the disclosure, now audit is much more simpler. And one more thing, the system audit is more important in case of the modern technology. Once you complete the system audit, then other audit is almost done, because you don't need to sample. You just give you formula, and then they will analyze the data and give you the report. Thank you.
So that concludes third session. Thank you very much for all the presenters and also for my co-chair. So now to conclude the session officially, let me invite my co-chair, Ms. Sureka Katabale, to give the vote of thanks.
Good evening. First, I would like to thank all the presenters who bless us with their presence today with much value addition and color to this session, representing number of countries including India, Bangladesh, Pakistan and Sri Lanka. Their contribution, new thoughts and hard work immensely added value to this session on different country perspectives, on embracing technology in nowadays accountancy profession. And I am also very much thankful to the founder, president of CMA, Professor Lakshman Wattawala, for his continuous guidance, leadership, inspiring thoughts, as well as his support to shape this session. And my heartfelt gratitudes to my fellow governing council members for their endless support. And on behalf of CMA, I like to gratitude and thank to the director of Center for Banking Studies and her team for providing the place as well as all necessary facilities to successfully conduct this session. And I am also very much thankful to all sponsoring agencies for their support as well as generous contribution. An event of this dimension cannot happen overnight. The wheels start rolling months in advance. We have been fortunate enough to be backed by a team of very motivated and dedicated organizing committee. So I want to extend a vote of thanks to our organizing team, admin staff, as well as CMA staff for making this event happen so beautifully. If time is money, then today you all participants have spent millions for us. So last but not least, I want to thank all the respected delegates, participants for taking their valuable time out and ensuring their presence here. Thank you all of you for making this event session successful. Have a wonderful evening. Thank you.
Before we forget, we must also remember the compere today. I think she left little time ago. Roshat, I can't remember her surname. Roshat has done a wonderful job, but she had to leave. So she left, I think, 5 or 10 minutes earlier, but she has done a wonderful job. So let's give her a round of applause, even though she is not here present. Thank you.
Well, that was a really insightful opportunity to go through all the nation's future in relation to AI and technology. I request all the presenters to remain on stage. And next, I cordially invite the President of CMA Sri Lanka and the council members to be present on the stage to present the tokens of appreciation for the session chairman, Mr. Ruchira Pereira, and the co-chairman, Ms. Sureka Ketawatha. Then moving to the speakers, Mr. Ujjwal Giri from Nepal, Mr. Pramesh Pokaral from Nepal, Ms. Akshay Dilip Jain from India, Ms. Kasak Vijayvargi from India, Mr. M.A. Farhan from Bangladesh, Mr. Supun Mutukuda from Sri Lanka, Ms. Vimuktika Janandari from Sri Lanka, and the participants from foreign countries. Mr. Ujjwal Giri from Nepal. Mr. Pramesh Pokharal from Nepal. Ms. Akshay Dilip Jain from India. Ms. Kasak Vijayvargi from India. Mr. M.A. Farhan from Bangladesh. Mr. Supun Muthukuda from Sri Lanka. Ms. Vimuktika Janadari from Sri Lanka. Palak Singh. Aksh Garg. Mr. Noor Singla. Mr. M.D. Biplob Talukder. Mr. Siraj U.D. Daula Chowdhury. Mr. Muhammad Abdul Rahman. Mr. Palash Kumar Chowdhury. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. I request the international Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. I request the international representatives to remain on stage and for the other representatives to join them for the receiving of gifts of memory. I request Ms. Diksha to join them as well. This award goes to Ms. Sureka for joining us and making our event more lively. And the distribution of gifts for rest of the representatives from all over the world. Yeah. I cordially invite our student guild members to join us on stage for a photograph.